Hi guys, welcome to my channel. In this video we are going to check 10 banknotes under the UV light. Our first banknote is Suriname 10 Gulden. So this is the front side of Suriname 10 Gulden without UV light. Let's put this bill under the UV light and see if there are any special markings that are visible under the UV light. So you can see there are lots of markings that are visible. On the right is a golden pattern. There are two leaves that are visible. 10 mark is visible, and there is some country logo that is visible. On the left there is a serial number that is visible, and there are 4 butterflies that are visible, and then number 10 is under the square or rectangle box, golden color. Let's check the back side of this bill. This is how the back side looks without UV light. In the center you can see there is a thread, silver thread. Let's see whether that thread is visible. Nope, that thread is not visible under the UV light, and there is no marking that is visible under the UV light on the back side of this bill. No marking that is visible on the back side. Let's pick up our next bill, that is Thailand 20 Baht, Thailand 20 Baht, the picture of King Rama. This is the front side of Thailand 20 Baht. Front side is a picture of King Rama. Let's put it under the UV light now. Under the UV light on the right side you can see there's a pattern. Within the pattern number 20 is visible under the golden reflection. Same way the logo is visible at the top. Middle layer is visible. On the left you can see there are some random markings that are visible, and I can see on the top there is a serial number that is visible in light red color. Let's check the back side of this bill. This is how the back side of Thailand 20 Baht looks. Let's put it under UV. There is a silver lining that I can see on the right. Silver lining is not visible under the light, but middle portion has golden reflection under the UV light, and there's a marking in blue color below the bill in the middle. Random markings are getting reflected that are golden in color. No other special pattern that is visible under the UV light on the back side of this bill. Let's pick up our third bill, that is Tajikistan 5 Diram. This is how the front side of this bill looks. This is Tajikistan 5 Diram. Let's put it under the UV light. I can see some pattern there. Okay, number 5, or on the right there's a pattern in the golden color that is visible, and serial number is also visible there under the UV light. There's a rectangle or square, and you can see number 5 within the square, and there's a pattern on the left that is getting reflected in the golden color under the UV light. Let's check the back side of this bill, Tajikistan 5 Diram. This is the back side of Tajikistan 5 Diram. Let's put this bill under the UV light. This is how the back side of Tajikistan 5 Diram looks under the UV light. Number 5 is a little bit visible. There are some random markings that are visible in the golden color, but no other special marking that are visible under the UV light. Let's pick up our next bill in the row, that is Russia 1 Biletov. That's how the front side of this Russian bill looks. This is Russian 1 Biletov. Let's put it under the UV light and see if there are any special marking. This is how Russian 1 Biletov looks. On the right I can see 3 M's that are visible under the UV light in the golden color. Random markings are visible under the UV light, Let's look at the back side of this bill. This is how the back side of this bill looks without UV light. Let's put it under the UV light. There are no special markings that are visible under the UV light. You can see there are some random colors, small markings that are visible, but no special tag that is visible under the UV light. Just want to check one thing here. So if we put front side back again, you see the symbol triple M is only visible under the UV light. Without UV light it is not visible. It's only visible under the UV light. That's interesting security marking, that is only visible under the UV light. Let's pick up our next bill. This bill is Russia 100 Biletov. This is how Russia 100 Biletov looks. This is Russian $100 basically. Oh, under the UV light, triple M is visible, very similar to 1 Biletov. On the 100 Biletov also triple M is visible, plus some random markings are there. Same pattern here also. Without UV light the triple M is not visible, but if you see it under the UV light, the triple M is visible only under the UV light. Interesting feature. Yep, very good security feature, that is only visible under the UV light. This is the back side of 100 Russian Biletov. Let's put it under the UV light now. There are no special features that are visible under the UV light, but there are random markings in golden color that are visible, but no special mark that is visible under the UV light. Let's pick up our next bill in the row, that is Romania 1 Lei. This is very good bill. It's basically a polymer bill. This is Romania 1 Lei bill. This is transparent eagle marking that you can see through and through of this marking. Let's put it under the UV light. This is the front side of the bill, Romania 1 Lei. On the right side I can see the sequence number is visible. This marking is not getting reflected. This is just a transparent marking because no special features are here on the front side other than the sequence number is visible under the UV light. Let's check the back side of this bill. This is how the back side without UV light looks. I can see the number 1 there that is visible. Okay, on the right I can see at the bottom the serial number is getting reflected clearly under the UV light. Number 1 is visible in the square. On the left, sequence number is getting reflected. These are good features that are getting reflected. Let's check one thing here. You see number 1 is not visible without UV light. It is only visible under the UV light. Interesting feature. Yep, it is not visible without UV light. It is only visible under the UV light. Let's pick up our next bill. This is Nigeria 10 Naira. The next bill is Nigeria 10 Naira. This is how the front side of Nigeria 10 looks like. Let's check the front side. This is how the front side looks like. This is also a polymer bill. On the right you can see the similar sort of transparent logo is there. You can see through and through. Let's put it under the UV light. Interesting. So you can see on the bottom the sequence number is visible in the golden color under the UV light. On the left also sequence number is visible. There is a square pattern there that is getting reflected. So this pattern, if you see, this is not visible without UV light. This is only visible under the UV light. This is also a good security feature, that is only visible under the UV light. Interesting. Let's check the back side of Nigeria 10 Naira. This is how the back side of Nigeria 10 Naira looks like. Let's put it under the UV light. This is a polymer bill. On the back side there is no special marking that is visible under the UV light. There is no special marking. Let's pick up our next bill, that is Macedonia 50 Denari. Our next bill is Macedonia 50 Denari. This is the front side. This bill is also a polymer bill. This is very beautiful bill. Let's put it under the UV light. Under the UV light there's a pattern that is visible. On the right 50 is visible under the square. On the left also golden color is visible. If you see the 50 in between, this 50 is only visible in the square bracket only under the UV light. That is not visible without the UV light. Let's check the back side of Macedonia 50 Denara. This is how the back side of 50 Denara looks like. Let's put the back side under the UV light. This is how the back side looks under the UV light. You can see on the right is a golden reflection. This golden reflection is only visible under the UV light. It's not visible without UV light. Interesting feature, yeah. Let's pick up our next bill in the row. This is Burundi 50 francs, sorry 100 francs. This is Burundi 100 francs. Front side of Burundi 100 francs. Let's put it under the UV light. This is how it looks under the UV light. Serial number is visible, number 100 is visible. There's a bridge that is getting reflected, serial number is getting reflected here. Let's check this number 100. This number 100 is only visible under the UV light. It's not visible without UV light. Interesting feature. Yeah. This is only visible under the UV light. Let's check the back side of Burundi 100 francs. This is how the back side of Burundi 100 francs look. Let's put it under the UV light. A pattern is visible at the bottom and at the top of this bill as well. The golden reflection. No other feature is visible under the UV light. Let's pick up our next and last bill in this part. This is Bhutan 5 Ngultrum. This is Bhutan 5 Ngultrum. Let's put it under the UV light. This is how it looks under the UV light. On the right there is a golden color reflection, on the left as well. Let's check the back side of Bhutan 5 Ngultrum. This is how the back side of this bill looks. Let's put it under the UV light. Bhutan 5 Ngultrum. In the middle we can see there's a rectangle that is visible in the golden reflection, and there are some random markings that are visible. This rectangle is only visible under the UV light. It is not visible without the UV light. This is also an interesting feature. So guys, if you like this video, please subscribe and share. See you in the next video.